Good evening. I'm on right now because I have been getting pushed heavy to put a story out there, part of my story anyway, that could very well help somebody that maybe is in trouble right now or needs help right now. I've been putting it off because I'm one of those people that think, oh, everybody has it worse than me, but a lot of people too, when they tell their stories, they leave out embarrassing, shameful, inconvenient facts, maybe that they don't want people to know about themselves. I don't do that. The whole point of putting the story out is to make people feel comfortable enough to share their own or get help with their own, and without telling your whole truth, people can still feel shameful because they don't know you're doing some of the same things they are. But a part of this, it seems to be angling towards a relationship I had with an ex of mine, 7 years, which was highly abusive, because I was always one of the ones that thought women in abusive relationships were either dumb, lazy, or liked it. Because all they had to do was leave, right? Well, there were a lot of things in there that I wasn't taking into consideration. Sorry, my cats are in the car. And that is the grooming process and the brainwashing process beforehand, because I was humbled. I was humbled very much so when I met this man. The first almost 2 years, he was Prince Charming. Absolutely amazing. And he just, it was very insidious. He knew what to do and how to operate to get me to think and feel a certain way without me even realizing it. And it started to with the control. He took control of my entire life, and I handed it to him. Unknowingly handed it to him. He had initially, because I had my own place, my own job, my own car, I had all that out in Carroll County, and I'm in Baltimore now, but and he's in Baltimore. He's what got me to move to Baltimore. And he had convinced me, owning an auto shop, to save money and get rid of my car and just drive around one of his shop cars. It wouldn't have a car payment, wouldn't have insurance payment, none of that. Sounded good. He's amazing. He's awesome. Things are great. So I sell my car and I drive around one of his, and that's fine and good. And the next thing was, he had talked me into getting rid of my job, quitting my job, because he needed more help with his shop and all of that. So, again, when I quit my job, now I'm driving a car that belongs to him, and I'm working a job that belongs to him. So, last step in that was to talk me into giving up my apartment, and moving to Baltimore. So, and how he did that, he had a apartment type area at the shop, and he needed help. He needed somebody that could open if he was going to be late. He just needed me around more. It would be so much help for him, right? And I wouldn't have to pay rent anymore. So now I don't have a car payment, I don't have a rent payment. I mean, how could it be any better than that, right? So I fell right for it. Moved out of my apartment, moved to Baltimore, moved into the place at the shop. And it was not long after that he switched up on me. Complete 180. Just turned, Prince Charming began to not be so charming. I took a little too long one day doing something, and the first time he got physical was that. It took a little too long, and he smacked me. He smacked me so hard that I was seeing stars, everything went black, and I actually fell to the floor. That's how hard this man open hand smacked me. And I was in shock. I got up, other guy at the shops looked like, hey, dude, why'd you do that? He immediately grabs me, starts apologizing, saying that he was scared, that's the only reason he did it, so on and so forth, textbook, you know. And from there, it just got continually worse. I mean, it got so bad. I've never told anybody how bad it got, but it was about 5 years, almost, of I was being locked naked in offices for days on end, handcuffed to cars, beaten regularly, hospitalized a few times, broken ribs, and it would all be for little things, like I took too long at the grocery store, you know, I drove the wrong way, turned the wrong way, I woke up to, like, it was just insane. And it took, for me, it took going to prison to start to work my way out of it, because in that mix, I was doing drugs before I met him. But while I was with him, I had started a almost $300 a day heroin habit. I was trying to die. I was trying to kill myself. And I never could, and I couldn't figure out why, but it seems now like maybe God has another purpose for me. Maybe I needed to live through it to help somebody else. But I wanted to die so bad, and I couldn't. And it took going to prison to really get me to free up from this man and start to see what was going on and escape it. I mean, he kept so much separation. I had no friends, barely saw my family. He had me convinced that my mother wanted me dead, that my kids didn't need me or better without me. And any people that were around, he would either come to me and tell me that they were doing this, that, and the other, and didn't like me, go to them, tell them the same about me. Like, he made sure that I didn't have friends or communicate with anybody. He took my cell phone. I had to use his phone. It was really bad. It was really, really bad. And I would get into more detail, but just trying to get it out there, because, I mean, it seems like there's somebody that might be in a situation that needs help. Because I'm really getting called to get it out there now. But, you know, I mean, it's miserable. It's a miserable situation. If you are in a situation like that, no, you are not weak. It's a brainwashing. It's a grooming and a brainwashing process that winds up presenting a little bit like Stockholm Syndrome, I guess. Like, you feel almost like you owe them. When I promise you, you don't owe them anything. But yeah, I mean, if there's anybody out there that is just struggling, and I've been through it all, I'm telling you. I mean, even if it's not an abusive relationship, struggling, if it's addiction, if it's jail time, if it's kids, I mean, you name it, I've been through it. So, I don't know. Like I said, it just seems like God's compelling me to put something out there for somebody maybe that's struggling, or anybody. Feel free to reach out. If anybody is in a situation they feel like you need help, feel free to reach out. Hey, have a nice night.